Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome to it. Thanks for being here. 888-933-93. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Just a ton of things to talk about again. It's always hard to even know where to start. There's just so much every day.
So it's not a slow news day, from what you gather?
No, it's not a slow news day. When was the last time we had a slow news day?
I beg for a slow news day.
Jeez.
I beg for a slow news hour.
I mean, 2001, before 9/11.
Right, seriously.
Would have been the last slow news day, probably. Rand Paul receiving some death threats, a death threat package with white powder and a violent, profane message to it. Had a photo of him and and underneath the words, "I'll finish what your neighbor started, you mother." Interesting. He's not a mother, so
you're picking up on
that. He is a father, though. Strange that he was referred to as a mother. Huh? That's weird.
Yeah, that is. I'm sure that AOC and Nancy Pelosi and the rest will be very, very adamant that they get to the bottom of this threat.
Oh, yeah. You know they're going to be. The FBI is investigating this suspicious package filled with white powder, bearing an image threatening violence. And it arrived at his home in Kentucky on Monday. On the outside of the envelope was a picture of the bruised and bandaged Paul with a gun to his head. Jeez. And a threat printed beneath it, as we just told you. You might remember, of course, Rene Boucher, his wonderful neighbor, came running at him and smashed him into his tractor, and he broke all kinds of ribs. 5 ribs. And Rand was not real pleased with that. He kind of pressed the issue. The guy could have gotten off on a lesser charge, and Rand made sure that didn't happen, which is great.
Yeah, remember he had the pneumonia that he couldn't breathe without severe pain?
Yeah, he was in trouble. I mean, he was severely injured.
Yeah.
I take these threats immensely seriously, Rand said. I've been targeted multiple times now. It's reprehensible that Twitter allows C-list celebrities to advocate for violence against me and my family. This must stop. Just this weekend, Richard Marx called for violence against me, and now we receive this despicable powder-filled letter. Richard Marx, the
isn't that
80s,
weird?
The 80s pop artist is
Look at that tweet that he sent out this weekend.
No, like it is really that Richard Marx?
Yeah. Isn't that strange to have that in the story? Read that tweet. It's despicable.
What? Yeah. Marx, an American singer, tweeted Sunday, "I'll say it again. If I ever meet Rand Paul's neighbor, I'm going to hug him and buy him as many drinks as he can consume."
So weird.
What?
Maybe he's the guy that sent the...
Maybe.
I mean, how about that timing, huh?
Richard Marx.
Right.
Guy was a huge star in the 80s. Huh. I can't remember a single name of a single song. But
what was that one song about that Nebraska town? Remember that? No, you don't.
I don't
know.
It
was a big hit. I just can never remember. I swear, if the title of that song is Nebraska, I think it might be. I don't know.
Okay, but songs like this, "Right Here Waiting."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, yeah.
"Hold On to the Nights."
Yes.
"Endless Summer Nights." "Now and Forever."
That's the one. Yeah.
"Angelia." "Should Have Known Better" was huge.
Yes, all these songs, man.
And "It Don't Mean Nothing." Remember, "Don't Mean Nothing" was big. "Hazard," "Take This Heart."
Hazard, that's a song I couldn't think of.
The guy was big in the 80s up until, like 91.
And now he's
threatening a U.S. senator?
Well, he's praising
the guy
attack on
who attacked him. Mm-hmm. And who knows?
That should be the first door knock for the FBI.
Wow. That is bizarre.
The timing is a little interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Now, I'm sure that's not him who sent the powdered envelope, blah, blah, blah. But if he sees that story today, he's got to be thinking, oh, crap. That was a bad impulse this weekend to send that tweet.
I don't know why. I guess I'm that surprised because I've never heard a political thing come out of Richard Marx before. I don't remember him being political when he showed up at award shows and things.
Maybe
Just looking at
maybe he needs some attention.
maybe.
Maybe that's where we're at with Richard Marx.
He also subdued. I'm just looking at some of the headlines of him. Subdued an unruly passenger aboard a Korean air flight. Okay. You know who his wife is? Do you know who Daisy Fuentes is? Remember her from MTV?
I didn't know they were married, but
Yeah.
I vaguely remember her.
Daisy Fuentes.
That's funny.
Who still looks pretty good. Fact is.
Hold on.
And so does he, for that matter.
You're liking the Richard Marx, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you love him?
Certainly not now. No. No.
Dang, you were this close to the altar with him.
Yeah.
And then he tweeted that out. So how old is he anyway?
So weird. Oh, he's got to be 55-ish.
You're good with these guesses. 57.
57. Yeah, okay.
And yeah, so Daisy Fuentes, he married in 2015. Had no idea. What does she do anyway?
Now?
Yeah.
I don't know. No idea. Haven't seen her since
when-
the MTV days.
When you make that kind of money, why would you do anything?
Why would you do anything? I'm sure Richard had enough money built up from all those hits. They don't need to do anything anymore, except get on Korean air flights and fly back and forth to Asia. I guess I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, no.
That is really weird. That blows me away that he's psychotic liberal. I don't know why, because everybody in music is, except for Donnie and Marie. Everybody else you could pretty much count on being psycho. All right. 888-900-3393. So anyway, thoughts and prayers for Rand Paul and his family. That's awful to have to, and every stupid liberal in office is always screaming about the threats they get. I mean, this seems pretty darn serious. Not like the Twitter stuff. I'm going to kill you because you're blah, blah. The Twitter thing is meaningless. It's just meaningless. It's just people being anonymous and sounding off and saying whatever they possibly want.
I think this would be a good place for the dogs because it's Twitter and real life. Please play the dogs because when the gate is up and you don't have to see the person, then you can go after them. Then you're ready to fight and brawl. But as soon as the gate is removed and it's real life, oh, hey, what's up? No, I'm cool. We're good. And you put the Twitter wall up. Oh, hell. And you pull the gate back. No, I got no problem with you.
Hey, what's up? It's
You got
really weird.
the security of the anonymity there, and you go after it.
That's a perfect representation of what it's like on Twitter and in real life. That's great. Jeez.
Funny.
All right. 888-900-3393. That school bus driver we showed you yesterday slapping the 9 or 10-year-old girl on the bus because she didn't have her mask on properly. This guy. Oh, man, that's disturbing.
Yep.
He was arrested. Thank goodness. What a douchebag. Colorado school bus driver. Oh, he was also fired after allegedly hitting the child who questioned the requirement to wear a mask. So he was fired, and he's been arrested, as you would hope.
Yeah.
So there is some justice in the world.
I love his response when he says, you have to wear the mask. And she says, why? And he goes, because.
It's
I mean, that's
powerful.
literally the answer for the last 14 months. Because.
That's powerful. That is powerful. Why do I have to wear the mask? Because. Okay, why do I have to wear it now that I'm vaccinated? Because. Why do I have to wear it outside? Because. That's pretty much what we get on all of those issues. Although, over the weekend, we went out to breakfast on Saturday. Walked into the restaurant. I had my mask in my hand. all of a sudden, I realized it was a real Texas scene. Not a single person in the restaurant. Standing, walking around it, the servers, no one was wearing a mask.
Not even the servers.
Not even the servers.
Uh-huh.
Nobody was wearing a mask. And I'm like, yes! Yes! It was, it almost brought tears to my eyes. It was such a great sight. And we've got this story today about we had a huge event. I didn't even know about this event here in Dallas. It's actually in Arlington at AT&T Stadium, which is Dallas Cowboys Stadium. But they hosted a Canelo Alvarez Billy Joe Saunders fight on May 8th. Did you even know that was going on? At AT&T Stadium.
Hold on. I think I was informed that because I think if that's the day I think it was, there were so many huge sporting events going on that night. And I said, feels like I'm missing something. And I think this is what people came back with.
They had the roof closed.
Okay.
Roof was closed, so it's an indoor event. 73,000 people showed up. 73,000! That has to be by far the largest event since COVID began.
Oh.
Especially indoors.
Definitely, because the Rangers game was 38,000 on opening day.
Right.
And then over the weekend, the Braves announcers were saying, wow, over 40,000 people here. That's got to be the largest event since the pandemic. I didn't hear that total. 73,000?
73,000. And many not wearing masks. And it's been over 2 weeks since.
Oh yeah, where's our spike? Let's see.
And where's our spike?
Hang on,
our
let me just
spike. Oh wait, I got the actual
you got
numbers
yeah?
here. Yeah, the spike was on May 8th. We had 2,507 cases. Okay. 2 days ago we had 2,024 cases. It went down 19%. In Tarrant County,
there's Texas, and then and this
down.
era that you're talking about is over at the very end there.
Look at that. In Tarrant County, it went down 21%. So there's your spike. Your spike is downward. It's a downward spike.
The county where the event was held.
Yeah. That's
the
amazing.
Numbers don't lie.
Thank you. Yes.
They really don't. They really don't.
Oh.
Now, does that mean nobody in the stadium got COVID? No, not necessarily. But it didn't cause a spike to where you have the numbers going back up again. In fact, they're going down 19 and 21%. So that's amazing. That's fantastic. So I mean, in this article, they're saying that, maybe our last big test in Texas as to whether or not this pandemic is over in Texas comes when it starts getting hot again and everybody starts going back indoors. Because that's what happens. And it's probably a bigger indoor event than winter is here. Because when summer rolls around, it's miserable.
Yeah.
It's miserable. So people go inside. And when that happened last year, our numbers really spiked. If it doesn't happen this year, I think we declare this pandemic over. And we stop with all the BS. All of it. At least I'm going to.
He has spoken.
I think if I haven't gotten vaccinated by then, I don't think I'm going to. We'll see.
Well, I mean, what if you get vaccinated and you venture out into the world and you're feeling this new sense of bravery, like this one lady who went to a Starbucks and she was going without a mask for the first time, and then she kind of changed her mind, so she's not quite feeling
really
invincible.
She wasn't ready
after all. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
I'm doing it.
Yes. You go, girl. All right.
No.
No.
Nope. She's not doing it.
These people aren't coming back. They're just not coming back.
I mean, we'll have zero. We'll have 0 cases, 0 deaths, 0 hospitalizations for months at a time, and you'll still have people like that. Wearing masks, afraid to go anywhere. It's just silly. It's silly.
I guarantee you that woman gets on an airplane on a regular basis or drives down the interstate That's a risk she's willing to take.
Mm-hmm.
But my gosh, going in and ordering her soy latte for 5 seconds in there, 5 minutes in the Starbucks. No.
Can't do it.
No. Hell no.
Can't do her. Jeez. All right. So, what else we have? Lori Lightfoot.
Yeah.
Lori Lightfoot on the masks. She is, from the beginning of this pandemic, she has been so consistent, hasn't she? So consistently hypocritical.
Who's worse, her or Michigan chick?
Yeah, I think Lori Lightfoot's even worse than Gretchen Whitmer. But she has been adamant about continuing to wear the mask. And so here she is out in public where she tells everybody else to wear a mask. And of course, she's not.
Because, Monday she said, I'm going to keep wearing a mask out in public. So you guys should as well. And then on Thursday, she was at this event there. It's clip 4. There she is. Uh-oh. People wearing masks around her, but she's not.
She gets caught every time.
They don't care.
She just doesn't care.
Remember she did the haircut thing, right? When she told everyone, stay at home.
Yes.
And wasn't Chicago the one that said, don't go to your mailbox? Remember that? Wasn't that like one of the things? Or you can only go to your mail, or whatever the heck it was. Just that town has been, that town sucks for decades.
Yeah.
But it's a show.
Did you see they had 9 murders, too, over the weekend? 9 gun deaths and 42 shot, I believe. 42 shot, 9 dead. So, that city is just out of control in virtually every way. And that's their leader. That's their leader right there. 888-900-3393. Let me tell you about Real Estate Agents I Trust. Because if you are selling your home or you're buying and selling a home because you're relocating, that can be really tough. And you need somebody you can really trust. And that's not going to be somebody who dabbles in real estate a little bit and does it part-time on weekends. You want somebody who has a really good track record, somebody who's totally committed to this industry, and somebody who knows the ins and outs of the real estate business, knows what the buyers are looking for, knows how best to sell your home for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time, and can help you through that whole process. See it through from beginning to end. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name really says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right. I want to see Joe Biden at the FEMA meeting yesterday.
Oh, no, you don't.
This is going to be fun.
He's good.
He was.
But there's, there to be, beginning this effort for 2021 is,
Okay.
I think we've learned a few lessons from last year as well. There's help as they're, being there to help clear roads, rebuild main streets, and so that the families can get back to their lives. That's what FEMA does every single day.
Powerful. That's powerful. And everybody there at the table is like, yeah, I don't know what you said there, but I think we do it every day. Congratulations.
The people at that table,
Oh, my.
those were the looks of confidence in their leader.
Yeah. Let's play that one more time.
He had a tough time getting out of the starting block.
Mm-hmm.
But
there's beginning
this effort for 2021 is, I think we've learned a few lessons from last year as well. There's help as there's help as being there to help clear roads, rebuild main streets.
Okay, now he's on.
So that the families can get back to their lives.
Yeah.
That's what FEMA does every single day.
That's what FEMA does. I guess everybody.
Old ass bum in there.
So I guess everybody, are we led to believe that everybody had their vaccinations in that room?
Yeah, because nobody had a mask on.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that have we dropped the federal building mask mandate yet?
Not that I know of.
Well then.
You would think at FEMA, they've been inoculated, right?
Well, I don't know.
You would
Half
think
of
so.
the CDC didn't have
That's
theirs
true.
last week, according to Fauci himself. But that's a leader right there. That's a.
I'm just saying, the one thing I'm gonna start. What last year they did?
That's what my lawnmower does. Like when I'm mowing the yard, and finally it gets going. That's what
Yeah.
we just witnessed there. His cranial lawnmower. You think he risked the pudding with that performance?
I think he risks the pudding every time he speaks. I don't think they want him to say anything anytime to anybody. Seriously, if you're one of the handlers of Joe Biden and your job is to get him through this situation, you tell him all the time, don't answer any questions. Don't talk.
They thought they were
Mr.
safe
President,
there
just don't talk.
by just printing out the words.
Yeah.
But as you know,
Follow the script.
yeah,
Read the words in front of you.
and that's the key.
Don't ad-lib at all. We can't even do that. He can't even do that. He's not capable.
Well,
And especially if you throw a number or two up there.
yeah.
Then forget it. Forget it.
But don't forget
over.
that we have to more than just build back better. You say build back better.
Well, of course, right.
We have to do more than just build back better.
Yeah.
We have to build back better.
Help us. Help us.
We have to do more than build back better. Build back. We have to build back better.
Yep. Yep, we do. We are 4 months into a 48-month journey.
Wow, I really don't like it when you put it that way.
I'm sorry.
I really don't like it.
Help us.
Wow.
I mean, what are the aliens? Come on. What are they waiting for? Just do it.
I don't know. They're here, obviously, so I don't know what they're waiting for. I mean, they've seen, right? They've been watching this the whole time. And you're like, okay, it's not time to intervene yet? Come on. What are you waiting for?
One of your audience members made a great point on Twitter yesterday. If the aliens are so smart, why did they come here? That's a great point. They're clearly not of superior intellect if they're hanging out here.
Yeah, and if they're here to shepherd us along, they're not doing a very good job of that either.
No. So I contend we're smarter than them. And that's a terrifying thought. But yeah, I think June 1st is the day that big UFO alien whatever report gets
Fully
released.
redacted, yeah. Yeah, with every word but the redacted.
Brought to you by Sharpie. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I can't wait. Hey, one of the most popular YouTube videos of all time has been completely removed from the internet now. Somebody paid a lot of money for this, right? Somebody owns it now.
Yeah, I got to find out how much they paid. But that's this NFT stuff,
And this is the Charlie bit my finger thing. Remember that that happened a long time, 2007.
Wow.
So people have been watching that thing for 14 years.
800 and something million views before they took it down.
Oof.
Yep.
881 million. Wow.
Gosh.
Almost 1 billion views because that kid stuck his finger in his brother's mouth and all he said was, Charlie bit my finger.
Oh, wait, it's still up. And it says that they've changed the title because now it's up to 884 million views. It says waiting on NFT decision. So at any moment now, it's gone. So I'm going to tweet this out if you want to enjoy it. Now, it'll still be floating around out there, but someone technically could, I guess, what did we say they could do? Just a cease and desist or something? But basically, they own the rights to it now.
And so anytime you do play it, for instance, you downloaded it and you have it, and then you use it, you will owe that person money.
Yeah, it's a little fuzzy there, but yeah. Can we play? Can we see this awesome video so that people know what we're referring to? There he is. Look at those two cute kids.
Adorable.
Charlie. Charlie bit me.
Charlie bit me.
Ah.
Charlie's into it. And see, he likes it. The older brother likes it. Uh-oh, wait. Charlie, come on.
Ouch. Ouch. Ouch, Charlie. Ouch. Charlie, that really hurts.
Charlie likes it.
He's laughing.
No, Charlie bit me.
Charlie bit me.
Of
That
sorts.
really hurt, Charlie, and it's still
Really hurt.
hurting.
It's still hurting. I love that. Okay, so yeah,
And there they are now.
Yes.
The same chair. Same pose. Now, of course, they're teenagers. 14 years later, so he's, wow.
Time flies.
I mean, maybe
man.
Charlie was 1, 2, and the other kid was, I don't know, 4. So that would put him at 18 and 16, maybe?
I'm gonna trust you
Ish.
on this one.
Whatever.
The numbers don't lie.
Charlie bit me. So now it's an NFT, a non-fungible token. Whatever that means.
I mean, that's more out there than cryptocurrency at this point.
Big time. But these are big right now. These non-fungible tokens,
Yeah.
these things from the internet that they're selling now, and some of them going for millions of dollars. Millions.
Yeah.
And I suppose this one will. I mean, it's pretty valuable.
Yeah.
881 million views. I wonder what the family made from that, because YouTube used to pay for views like that. I don't know if they still do. I think they still do, but they don't pay as much. Isn't that how that works? I think most people make their money off of ads now, which is obnoxious.
Yeah. Oh gosh, man.
Jeez, I hate
There
it.
was a time when we didn't have to sit through those ads.
It's what made YouTube so great. You went to a video and the video played.
Yeah, yeah. And now you see the little 5-second countdown.
Yes.
And you're just waiting to skip ads, skip and go.
And I'm just hoping it's a 5-second countdown, because sometimes video will play after ad.
And then your heart sinks, and you're like, seriously?
Okay, so I have to watch the feminine napkin ad first. Okay, great. That's exactly what I want to see, because I need that in my life. So,
I mean, and you can't spend that time doing something else productive for those 15 seconds, because if you were going to do something productive, it would be with your phone,
yeah.
and it's held hostage.
And you know what's even worse now is once the video starts playing, then it just stops and goes to an ad.
Another ad, right?
And then it'll play for a while and stops, goes to another ad. It's
see those little
really obnoxious
Yellow
now.
markers on the little play thing, and you're like, oh
Sucks.
crap. I hope I'm disinterested in this video by the time it gets to that first ad.
Yep.
That's what you're thinking.
And if you're trying to stream, your favorite show or whatever, and it's got like 18 little dots along the streaming line, it's where it stops and plays commercials every time. Usually it's only for 60 seconds, but it's 60 seconds 5 or 6 or 7 times during the during the show, and it's obnoxious. If I wanted that, I'd watch network TV again.
That's a good point. Now, I know that there's this one show called Pat Gray Unleashed. And so, like, if you go to youtube.com/Pat Gray and you watch the program there, that particular show, that doesn't have those annoying little yellow dashes and interruptions.
Right.
So,
So watch it, subscribe to it, and rate it 5 stars so that others can also find it and love it. Okay?
and you got to
Share
make
it.
sure that you click on the bell when you go to youtube.com/Pat Gray, because then you're notified whenever a new video is posted.
Exactly.
See.
All of that and more. Then you can also go to Pathead Shop
You got it.
.com?
PatheadShop.com.
and buy our merchandise, which is all kinds of really fun things on T-shirts and hats and whatnot.
No
and so
squiggly
forth.
line, though.
No
You
squiggly
don't need
line at
the
all.
/edu or back.
Patheadshop.com. It's just that easy.
There you go.
Welcome. 888-933-93. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Been amused at Apple's new privacy campaign. I have to laugh every time. Have you Have you seen their new privacy ad?
When you sent it last
They care
night.
so much about your privacy. Oh my gosh.
I'm with you, because when you sent that email to us last night, you're like, no way they're serious. And I'm like, I'm with you, man. There's no way they're serious.
If you haven't seen it, here's Apple's new privacy ad.
Felix?
So he's being followed after getting his coffee by the barista.
Name? Felix. Date of birth? November 5th, 1986.
Tracking current location.
Okay. Everywhere he goes,
Here's what you spent last month.
they're getting information about him and carrying it with them.
Pretty soon, everybody's following him, like dozens of people.
Help with the itching.
Jeez.
I do like this song, though.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't know what it is.
Of your ice cream. Can I lick the crumbs off your table? Oh, and then he just, no, do you want them to
At your house?
follow? No, I don't want them to follow, and then they all blow up. Yeah, why don't you mind your own business? What a joke from Apple. First of all, their Safari browser comes with every iPhone. It's set up by default to route through all web searches go through Google. And for that privilege, Google paid them $9 billion. In 2018, it was $12 billion, people estimate this year. So that takes enormous volumes of data from Apple users. As soon as it goes through Google, Google's getting all of your information. So Apple sold you out for $12 billion.
To their rival.
To their rival. For $12 billion.
But they're not collecting it. Somebody else is.
For sure. The same can be said for the apps Apple distributes too. Companies like Google, Facebook, all of their apps track everything you sing, every single thing you do. And let's not forget that they're taking 30,000 shots of your face continuously all day long. When you've got your screen in front of you, they're photographing your face and mapping it. Why?
Well, that's for our 3D technology. That's just that's just one of the handy benefits of having an iPhone.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Oh, I'm sure that's perfectly fine. I'm sure nothing's wrong with that. It's an absolute joke that they value your privacy. Okay. Oh, sorry. That's
Whoa.
Dang it.
Whoa.
Shoot, I keep forgetting.
Wow. I thought we were going to get
supremacy thing.
flagged for having that song on by the...
Can I have a taste of your ice cream? Can I lick the crumbs off your table?
Delta 5, 2003. That was the name of the band.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Delta 5.
Yeah.
And the song's from 2003?
Yeah, it's called Mind Your Own Business.
Huh. I like it.
Me too. So we're going to get flagged for playing the song.
Probably.
We're going to get flagged for your racist gesture you just flashed at the camera.
Right.
Don't do it again.
Okay.
Maybe there'll be some show left for y'all to watch later at youtube.com/Pat Gray.
Now, Google says their AI tool can help patients identify skin conditions based on the photos and information users provide. The AI-powered Dermatology Assist tool will offer suggested conditions.
Now, this sounds cool, right?
Yeah. So I guess you can put it over like a red spot on your arm, figure out if it's something more serious than, who knows, just a mole, or is it a cancerous or whatever.
Gosh, that is...
Isn't that something?
That's the kind of technology...
Is that creepy or is that cool?
I don't know.
It's creepy cool is what it is.
It's creep cool. Cool.
Wow.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know, man. I see that kind of stuff... That's beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time...
do
you really want Silicon Valley to know that you have eczema?
Yeah. And then pretty soon, they'll be recommending skin creams to you. I'll bet you.
Just like the ad we played.
Yeah, absolutely.
This will help with the itch.
I mean, all you have to do is talk in a room somewhere near your phone.
Oh, gosh. Oh.
And your ads start popping up.
It is so
They're listening to you continually.
obvious.
And that, too, is Apple, by the way. Your iPhone, if you have it in the room and you're talking about things and you mention a product, that product will show up on your websites, in your email.
I'm totally.
On your Facebook page.
And they can lie all they want. I'm telling you, I have never...
Oh, I've seen it happen way too many times to my own family.
Yes, my favorite example is me and the kids. We were doing some homeschool stuff, and I never have mentioned the Snake River in Oregon. And it came up, we were talking about Lewis and Clark or whatever, right? And then 5 minutes later, I open my phone, and there's a Cruise the Snake River ad.
What an amazing coincidence.
It's just a total coincidence, Pat.
Total coincidence. Uh-huh. Okay.
Yep.
Also, a brain-computer interface can turn mental handwriting into text. New brain-computer interface.
No.
It's BCI. Can turn mental handwriting, the act of imagining yourself writing on a piece of paper, into text on a screen in real time.
No.
Jeez.
Jeffy?
First of all, the breakthrough system developed by U.S. researchers uses a computer to decode attempted handwriting movements from signals in the brain.
Oh, no.
Researchers say the system could allow people with paralysis who don't have use of their hands or fingers to rapidly type messages. That's really cool.
See? Again,
that's
creepy
really
or cool.
In a clinical trial, a paralyzed man used the BCI to write text on a computer screen just by thinking about the movements involved in handwriting. God, it's just really amazing. Now, this one is cool, I think, because you don't have to... I mean, I would guess you would have to put something on your head, right? Some kind of electrode on your head.
For now.
It's got to send the signal to the computer.
Wait till the chip just takes care of it for you.
Yeah, right. I mean,
but it's not like anybody's got anything new and magnetic in their bodies these days. So and this would come in handy, like if you're at a car dealership and you're negotiating, right? And the more that the guy across the table from you angers you, you can just keep telegraphing messages that you're thinking about him in your head. Of course, the drawback is they would see the number that you're comfortable with, and you never want to divulge that.
Right, that's true. It is true.
I don't know, but I mean, there's some very practical uses for that.
Yeah. Well, paraplegics, for instance.
Yep.
That's an amazing tool for them. And if it stayed with, people who really needed it, that'd be great. It just usually doesn't. So
no, it'll be integrated into our bodies, and it's going to be
with the chips and the vaccines.
But it's so convenient, Pat.
Connectivity they've just hooked us up with in our shoulders, which is
oh gosh, we got a video of a lady with an EMF. You want to see that?
Oh yeah, let me see that.
Okay, watch the EMF lady.
This is my arm.
Okay, nice tat.
Bluetooth speaker.
So the Bluetooth speaker is emitting
charging port.
Okay, look at all these electromagnetic fields.
And then they gave you the shot where?
Oh no. Come on. There we go.
And
so what she's saying is that her husband's arm is now radiating an electromagnetic field. That's what she's alleging with that EMF device.
How would that be? And it's from the vaccine.
That's saying. What she's alleging there.
Yeah,
that
from the
that
vaccine
spot where they put the shot in.
So magnets stick to it, and now people are detecting electromagnetic fields around it. Oh, okay. That's fascinating.
I don't know, other than not getting it.
Could some of these be faked? Sure. However, we've actually seen proof firsthand of people whose arms are magnetic.
Yeah, in fact, your audience keeps attempting it on their own. I think there's one in there. Somebody just said, hey, I wouldn't have believed it if it hadn't happened to a relative of mine. I saw it with my own eyes. I mean, so people are, I mean, the magnet thing is absolutely real.
It's absolutely true.
I've experienced that. It's happening.
That's definitely on.
The end.
That's on like Donkey Kong. Okay, that one is real. All right, let me tell you about something else that's real, and that's Omega XL. You get real relief from pain brought on by inflammation with this. This comes from Omega XL. Is all natural. It comes from the pristine waters around New Zealand, and they got the omega fatty acids from there. And what this actually has is an off switch to inflammation. When the inflammation goes away, so does the pain, which is fantastic. This could really be a game changer for you. You could experience some real relief from pain, as I did in my elbow. And after a week of the Omega XL building up in my system, I could feel that it was starting to go away. And after 2 weeks, it was just completely gone. If you'd like to experience the same thing, go to omegaxl.com/Pat right now. When you buy one bottle, you'll get a second bottle for free. omegaxl.com/Pat. Buy one, get one free. It's omegaxl.com/Pat or call 800-844-4888.
It's Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze.
I got some tweets here. Unbrandished finger guns. Tweets, don't worry, Disney will buy the rights to the Charlie NFT, and then you can watch it whenever you want on Disney+.
Yeah, somebody just tweeted out that if you read the auction restrictions on those NFTs, you only have the rights to it. You can't commercialize the video. You don't own copyright of the video, etc. I don't understand why anyone would buy it. So, I mean, I don't fully understand the NFT stuff.
I don't either. I don't either. It's pretty new, and I haven't really looked into it. The Pickled Squirrel tweets 2 things. 1, I wish I sounded as cute as a British child. 2, Richard Marx is a very small man.
Is he really?
Literally.
How tall is he?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's like 5'6", 5'7". Somewhere in there, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so he's 5'8".
5'8".
Hold on a second. How tall is Daisy Fuentes?
7'3".
7'3"?
Yeah, she's 7 foot.
That is an odd
She's a foot and a half. Foot and a half taller than he is. It's really weird. That's a weird.
Let's see
it's
here.
A weird couple.
She's only 5'9".
Oh, okay.
Well, who's the volleyball
It's
chick?
Close to 7 foot.
Wasn't there somebody on MTV who was tall? That's what I was thinking. Who do
I don't think there was anybody inordinately tall on MTV. Not that I remember anyway.
Hold on. Gabrielle Reese is 6'3", but I don't think she was on MTV. So I was kind of cross-pollinating there. But anyhow, there you go. That's how my brain works.
VaxEd professor tweets, finally, someone with a British accent that I can stand to listen to. Charlie bit my finger.
Of sorts. Thank you. Try it again. It's better that way.
Charlie bit my finger.
Of sorts.
All right.
Much better.
From anti-fascist aliens watching from space. Alien 1. Aren't we going to invade? Alien 2. Nah, let's let this thing play itself out first.
They can save their stun guns because it's playing out.
There's no need. We're destroying ourselves. Like this woman with this precious little baby talking about what is going to be read to this baby, the books that will be available. Listen to this.
Hi there, my name is Sarah. This little cutie is my son Bennett. As you can see, my son is a white male. So here are some books that I bought to help prevent him from growing up to be awful. Starting out strong, we have C is for consent. Pretty self-explanatory, but it's a
tell us.
Picture book that goes into detail about consent with your body, with family. Along that same note, we have Will Ladybug Hug. Teaches the same kind of concept and in a more childish way about a ladybug who is hugging his friends, even has one friend who doesn't like hugging. So, this one is called Only for Me. Also, same concept, teaching kids about consent and things that feel comfortable with their body. Because I'm raising a feminist, we've got A is for Awesome, 23 inspirational women. Next, we have I Clean Like Daddy. There's even a page in the end where the whole family is cleaning together to show that it's not just mom and sister's job. Finally, we have Except When They Don't, a book about boys and girls liking whatever they want, regardless of their gender.
Oh, that's wonderful. Isn't that wonderful? That's great. That's great. So that the white baby won't grow up to be awful. And because, as we know, everybody else who hasn't been subjected to those books, we're all awful.
So, is the child's father awful as well?
No, he cleans. No, the child's father is. I clean like daddy. So
that's kind of like
daddy cleans.
Okay, so that's kind of like your carbon neutral type deal.
Yeah,
like
I
if you
guess.
clean, it erases your
some
white
of your
male.
awfulness.
I see.
Mm-hmm. If you clean things, okay, like so many of us do.
What's something you clean around the house, Pat? Tell us.
I vacuum.
Okay.
Dishes.
Good. You vacuum dishes? That's weird.
I vacuum.
So you vacuum, you do dishes?
Do dishes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You're 2 up on me.
Mm-hmm. Done some laundry, you know?
Yeah, I won't let anyone touch my laundry.
I clean.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I clean. So, pick things up in the house, straighten things.
Carrie won't let me
Dust
clean
it.
dishes, by the way.
Really?
That's right.
Why?
I mean, that's just, she's got her system. So, oh well.
Oh, really?
Shoot. I would love to
Dang.
get in there and
okay.
help you out.
Okay, man. I want to
like,
clean
I
the
literally
dishes.
have to wait until she's not at the house to do dishes. Or else I'm not allowed. No, it's my system, yo. It's my kitchen. I got it.
Okay.
All right. I'll just be in here watching the old game. If you need me, but don't. And then what you do is you wait until she's on like the last 2 dishes out of like 40. You're like, hey, you need any help in there? Well, I offered. Sorry. Yeah, I've only got 2 dishes left. Don't say I didn't offer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's all about timing, baby.
Yeah.
It's all about timing.
All right. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. So that's why the aliens haven't intervened yet.
Yeah.
Just letting us take care of ourselves.
We are destroying ourselves.
Kind of doing that, and then they'll just come in and take over what's left.
Seriously, that kid doesn't have a fighting chance.
No, seriously.
And I hate it.
Seriously. Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. Got some tweets, rants out loud tweets. I was in my office on the phone with a client advising them on the benefits of a 529 education savings plan. And I open up Facebook, and I'm inundated with ads for 529 education plans.
That's a coincidence. You know this.
Amazing coincidence.
Total
What are the
coincidence.
odds?
Now, if Jeffy were here,
What are the odds?
he would say, "What? They're just trying to help you out, save you some keystrokes. What if you forget to look them up later? They're just reminding you."
Michael Sadek tweets, the new iOS update blocks tracking by default. Facebook was pissed. And I changed my search to DuckDuckGo. Yeah, I did too.
I
and
tried to use that.
It's not quite as good as Google, but it's better than Bing, I think.
Okay, I mean, that's like...
Yeah, that's not a high standard.
gonna say.
It's not a big, high bar.
That's like saying, I mean, it's better than kale. I mean, who wants to do an internet search with kale?
Bing just sucks.
I mean, and they've had how many decades to get this right?
I know.
And they're still way, way down.
They had, what, a 20-year head start on Google at Microsoft? You couldn't have come up with something better than that?
What is so great is when Bing is like the default search engine for something, and you know, like, okay, you'll download something, and you're like, I'll get around to changing that how I want it. If you download something and then Bing is the default, that's something you're like, oh, we're fixing that. That's not lasting, no sir. I hate Bing so much.
And none oof. Urbanez?
No.
Did you? I mean, is that...
I don't know.
I think their hands were in the wrong places when they started typing things out there. You think that now it makes sense about how the COVID vaccine might be tied to 5G technology? Oh, no, actually, I think you might be confused.
Deepening our cooperation to build out an open, secure G5 network.
Yeah, you mean G5. The G5 network that we're building. Yeah.
I didn't understand that individual's reference.
Yeah, I didn't either. But he's probably talking about the G5 network that they're working on. I know people with 5G phones, and there's like no difference so far, according to them. Do you have a 5G?
Yeah.
You do?
I mean,
And is it spectacular? Is it so much faster than 4G? Is it 100 times faster or whatever?
You know, every piece of electronic equipment that I own ends up sucking eventually. So I'm not your best
And this is no
barometer.
different?
Yeah, I ruin everything.
Yeah, but I'm hearing from most people who have it.
Yeah.
It's no big deal yet. I don't know if they've done it right. I don't know if it covers enough. I don't know what's going on.
But no,
the 5G thing has been underwhelming so far.
Yeah, I still have the
Completely
same
underwhelming
issues as I did 2 years ago.
And this
You know what
was
I mean?
this was the technology that was supposed to enable cars to drive themselves because the response time with 4G wasn't fast enough. 5G was supposed to be the thing. Okay, now it's fast enough that the car can react the way it needs to. I don't think so. So far, the answer I would say is no.
I think the biggest difference for me is like sitting right here and I look at my phone as you were describing this, and it says I'm getting old, Pat. It's killing me. It says
Believe me.
It says
I feel your pain.
4G LTE. Okay.
Yeah.
Now 2 years ago,
LTE.
if we had this conversation, it would just say the whatever the
LTE.
Yeah, just the standard whatever. So that's the biggest difference. Is that like where I can't get 5G out? Like if I went to the parking lot right now, I'd get 5G. In here now, I get the 4G.
Really?
Yeah. So it's just all it is doing. I haven't noticed any difference with speed. I've just noticed the difference in what I'm connected to.
Okay, so you're never connected to just LTE. It's either 5 or 4G.
I will say that I make some drives out to the country. That
And then it's LTE.
Then it's LTE. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Rick Santorum's out at CNN now. They announced over the weekend they parted ways with conservative contributor Rick Santorum. Is he the only one at the whole network who's a conservative? This might be their only conservative. They just got rid of him. Why did they terminate him? Because of a terrible speech he made for the Young America's Foundation. Oh, when you hear what he said, you might vomit. He started by saying, if you think of other countries like Italy, Greece, and China, and Turkey, and places like that, they've all sort of changed over time. I mean, they've been there for millennia in many cases, and their culture has sort of evolved over time. But not us. We came here, created a blank slate. We birthed a nation from nothing. I mean, there was nothing here. I mean, yes, we have Native Americans, but candidly, there isn't much Native American culture in American culture. Uh-oh. Come on.
There's not more?
There's not more.
Oh, I thought that was a
There's
setup
no
for
more.
something else, honestly.
Nope, that's what I thought. Okay, really? That innocuous statement.
Wow.
Mostly innocuous statement. Is there a lot of Native American culture in American culture? I don't know. Is that a horrible statement to make? God, that's so ridiculous, the things that are getting people canceled now. So ridiculous. He didn't badmouth Native Americans. He didn't say they were worthless. He didn't say they don't mean anything. Come on. I mean, white culture is besmirched all the time. It's unbelievable that you could say something this stupid.
That's probably what it was. Him praising America more than anything else in what he said. Oh my gosh, you're praising the United States of America? This racist from its beginning culture? That's what it was.
So they called him a white supremacist for
there
that.
we go, of course.
He's a white supremacist.
Yep.
Are you serious? And he said, look, I had no intention of minimizing or in any way devaluing Native American culture. Sorry. Yeah, that's not good enough. I'm sorry. You have to go. All right? You have to go. I mean, I'm not a huge Rick Santorum fan anymore. There was a time when I wanted him for president of the United States. That time has passed. But, this is asinine. It's asinine what gets people fired and canceled and dismissed. He said, I would never, and people have said, I'm trying to dismiss what we did to the Native Americans. Far from it. The way we treated Native Americans was horrific. It goes against every bone and everything I've ever fought for as a leader in the Congress. Yeah, sorry, that's not enough. There's nothing you could possibly say now. There's nothing you can say now to make this okay, or to be able to get a job again in America. It's really something else. Jeez. I can't take it. Wow. Meanwhile, people are spewing hatred like you've rarely seen before online and in public, and all of this hatred against the Jews, all the anti-Semitism that's going on now because of the Middle East conflict. I guess it's fair game for anti-Semites to come out and show their ugly faces right now.
Yep, just their excuse to say, oh, now we can go and be anti-Semitic in public.
More than 1,000 people gathered in Nuremberg, Germany. Ooh, that's frightening. On Sunday to condemn the wave of... to condemn.
Right.
Good.
This is amazing.
To condemn the wave of anti-Semitism that occurred amid the Hamas-Israel conflict and the IDF bombing. People waved Israeli flags, carried placards calling for peaceful coexistence. Today, we're sending a clear signal against anti-Semitism.
Thank you, Nuremberg, Germany.
We are all saying no to the hatred of Jews. Thank you, Nuremberg Mayor Marcus Koenig.
I love it.
Wow, that's really something.
And we're doing the same thing over here, right?
Meanwhile, over here in America, we've got this going on with the pro-Palestinian mob attacking the Jewish diners in New York City. And a little video of that. Oh, good. Well, that looks lovely.
Aren't they fun? Look at that.
The pro-Palestinians carrying the Palestinian flag. Going after Jews. Look at you got the wait staff trying to protect the people inside the restaurant.
Amazing.
From this rabid Palestinian mob.
Wow.
I can't. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable.
Finally, the police get there and
thank you.
Move them along. But so we've got a peaceful pro-Israel march in Germany.
Right.
And then in New York City, we have that angry pro-Palestinian march. Got it.
2 Jewish boys were beaten after refusing to repeat anti-Jewish statements, according to police, before rescue by an anonymous driver. 2 Jewish teens allegedly were rescued by a rideshare driver after being beaten in Brooklyn on Saturday by pro-Palestinian individuals. New York Police Department received a report Saturday night that an 18 and 17-year-old were walking in Brooklyn when they were approached by 2 unidentified males who demanded that the victims repeat anti-Jewish statements. The 18-year-old victim's father spoke to the Daily Caller under the condition of anonymity. He said his son and nephew were told to chant Free Palestine, but refused.
No.
The teens, who the father said were both wearing their yarmulkes, refused and were immediately assaulted. Both victims were punched in the head. 17-year-old was placed in a chokehold. As the victims attempted to flee, police said they were chased by an assailant brandishing a baseball bat. Fortunately, an unidentified rideshare driver saw the incident unfolding and offered the boys a ride, saving them. Also, a Jewish family was getting a barrage of anti-Semitic insults being yelled at by a passing vehicle. They stopped and were screaming all kinds of, Free Palestine, Die Jew, and much worse.
Yeah, bad stuff.
And a guy with a gun pulled up behind the Palestinians.
Yes!
And showed them the gun.
Hi.
And kind of insinuated that maybe it might be best for them to move along.
Again, someone who has not suffered the ill effects of a boating accident.
Right.
And
right.
Convinced them to move along.
Intervened and got in between the family and the men until they finally left. Anti-Semitic incidents increased 40% from 2019 to 2020. Wow. According to the Anti-Defamation League. And what do you want to bet? It's a lot higher than that right now.
Oh, yeah, those are just the ones that are reported.
A lot higher than that. Mm-hmm. Fortunately, there are some people with their heads on their shoulders, and one of those is John Voight, who did a nice video about Israel.
How do I approach this matter? How can we see the truth? What's wrong with everyone? Can't you see this horror? A horror attacking Jews. I'm sick and tired of you followers, you liberal non-thinkers who only follow and bash and don't see what the truths are. The Jews have been attacked for centuries. Hitler took down millions of innocent Jews and babies and put them in gas chambers. What is wrong with you all? How dare you attack the righteous souls of God's highest truths in our own streets in Beverly Hills? What are you? You liberal fools. That's right, fools. What have you been taught to do? Ruin lives, steal, distort the idea of freedom? Freedom is the American dream. The Jewish man was taught to love, honor, and respect the morals of the Ten Commandments. What are you liberals teaching? Taking down Israel? You claim to be good. You're a disgrace to this planet Earth. We as a nation will stand with Israel, and we will not allow your barbaric words of injustice to destroy God's land, his holy land where Jesus crossed over. We and God will take down anyone who will destroy any innocent soul. The power of God. You anti-Semitic fools will pay the price when God intervenes, because no man will destroy God's land, Israel, the holy land of miracles and prayer. God bless.
He's great. He's really great. 888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. He used to attend the Friends of Abe meetings.
That's right.
The secret meetings in Hollywood of conservatives in Hollywood who met in secret because they had to. We were able to attend a few of those meetings with them, and it's fascinating to see what's going on and how they have to sort of skulk around behind the scenes so that they can continue to work in Hollywood. Not John Voight. I mean, he's an Academy Award winner, so John Voight's pretty well safe. And which is why he can speak out plainly and clearly like he just did.
Yeah, we will tweet that out at Pat Unleashed on Twitter if you'd like to share that important message.
Okay. You got a million reasons to be stressed out these days, right? Stressing out about your male pattern baldness and receding hairline. That doesn't have to be one of the things you're stressed about. The good news is Keeps can help. Keeps offers the same doctor-recommended FDA treatment, but they've got the generic version, so you only pay about half the cost. It's a great deal. And one more thing you're going to love about Keeps. You can do everything online. You answer a few easy questions, snap some pictures of your hair, and then a licensed doctor reviews your information and recommends the right hair loss treatment for you. Then it's shipped right to your door. Why make trips to the doctor and drugstore when you can do it all online from your couch? To get you started, we got a special discount for you. Go to keeps.com/Pat. You'll get 50% off your first order of hair loss treatments. That's keeps.com/Pat. Keeps.com/Pat for 50% off your first order. Can you imagine the dinner table at Thanksgiving with John Voight and Angelina Jolie sitting around gnawing on some turkey? What was the topic of conversation? Hopefully nothing political, because that would get ugly, I would think.
Yeah, just football.
Yeah, just football.
Who the Cowboys playing today?
Yeah, yeah. Got some tweets here. Don't worry about the radiation coming from your arm. Gamma therapy worked wonders for Bruce Banner. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Jeffy's Fat Ego tweets, here's an idea of what to read to your baby so that it doesn't grow up to be a Jeffy. The Bible.
Okay.
All right.
That's fun.
From Susan, remember Galaxy Quest? I do. Loved it. Perhaps the aliens are watching us because we're their plucky comic relief. Maybe.
Boy, they're getting a laugh a minute now.
That's for sure. God, Guns, and Coffee tweets, I drove through a nearby town with my husband and pointed out the new Aldi they were building. That afternoon, his computer was covered in Aldi ads. I'm a DuckDuckGo and Brave browser fan.
Oh, I forget about Brave all the time, yeah.
I'm not familiar with Brave.
It's kind of like the browser version of DuckDuckGo being a search bar.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And they don't track you,
Correct.
supposedly.
Correct.
Uh-huh. Hippie Patriot tweets, John Voight is my spirit animal. He's pretty great. I will say that. He's pretty great. A reporter yesterday asked Jen Psaki, Ms. Circle Back, if Biden has a Peloton bike at the White House, because what a logical question that is. Here was her response.
What more can you tell us
And the
about
question,
the
as a matter of fact.
president's health regime? We hear he's lifting weights. What sort of
He's
weights?
lifting weights. Pause for a second.
Oh, thank you.
We hear he's lifting weights. Shut up.
I swear.
I saw that yesterday. I thought, get out of here. He's lifting weights. If he can lift his head off the pillow, that's the weight he can lift.
Mr. President, I see that you picked up the 2-ounce dumbbell. Should we go down to the 1 ounce for?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the 1 ounce, sir.
Where's my pants? All right, let's see the rest of this.
What happened to his Peloton bike? Did he bring it to the White House?
I didn't know where this was going, but I'm intrigued by it.
Of course, because it's
I will say I have nothing to read out on the president's private exercise regime, but I can tell you, having traveled with him a fair amount, sometimes he's hard to keep up with.
Yeah, he's
That's
hard
good.
to keep up with. Do we have him walking with Jill through the field and
Aw.
picks up the dandelion?
Picks up
How
the
do you
dandelion.
How do you keep up with that guy?
Yeah.
Right foot, right, left. Look at him race through that
Right?
field. Oh, he's tough to keep up with.
Whoa, Jill's falling
wait,
behind.
Wait, I'm gonna get a pretty dandelion flower for my girlfriend. There's one. It's already gone to seed.
One thing we haven't analyzed in this video are those
probably
pants. What's going on there? Oh, now it's not zoomed out far enough.
I don't know.
Seriously, they're like, did he not use like a bounce dryer sheet? I mean, they are clinging like little European pants.
My girlfriend loves her flower.
Yeah.
Oh, she accidentally dropped it.
Uh-huh.
Behind the marine. Where's my pudding? Is my pudding on the helicopter? Do we have pudding?
Yeah, there's plenty of it in the back.
Okay.
Just why don't you go right in there, Mr. President?
Yeah, he's
and-
hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
That guy races. Look at that.
Okay, but look at his pants around his calves, man.
Yeah.
Watch this. They are they're clinging to him like
He needs some bounce in the dryer
something's
cycle.
going on there.
Yeah.
That is goofy looking.
He's just so old and decrepit. There's
Here.
no reason for him to be president of the United States.
Here's a weed. Enjoy it.
Literally a weed he gave to his wife. It was not even the yellow kind where it had bloomed yellow. It had gone to seed with the kind you blow, and the seeds go everywhere, and then you got a million more dandelions in your yard. It's unbelievable.
I love how she treats it like a little kid's art project and just
Exactly like that. Soon as the little kid's not looking, she gets rid of it. I threw it away. Sorry.
And I would say when
honey, I dropped it. I accidentally dropped that just before I got on the helicopter.
I would say when they got up in the air, he would have asked her, "Hey, you got that dandelion, honey?"
Dandelion.
But unfortunately,
pumpkin.
Before they closed the door on Marine One, he had forgotten that whole experience had even occurred.
Yeah. Yep. And he was saying, "Can we get some bounce in the dryer cycle? My pants are sticking to my leg."
Sorry, can't find the camera. There you go. I mean, it's just weird, dude.
It's weird and it's pathetic, and it's
our president.
Yeah.
It's our commander in chief, the man at the controls.
And look what he's done to our country. I mean, everything, every single aspect, like these ads that are coming out for the military and the CIA. And when Ted Cruz pointed it out, he's all of a sudden, Ted Cruz likes the Russian troops more than Americans. Shut up.
Seriously,
that is
shut up.
not what he was saying.
Did you see what the Army had to do? They had to mute the comments on the YouTube video of people mocking.
Because it's so pathetic.
So pathetic.
People are trying to point out how ridiculous that campaign is.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what you're going to highlight in the U.S. Army. Nobody's saying there's anything wrong with the two moms or do whatever you want with the trans or I don't know what you're doing with this stuff. But this isn't the time or place for it. The U.S. military is not the time and place to do that kind of PC garbage.
Yeah.
Stupid.
When Igor has his sniper rifle trained.
Yeah.
But I have 2 mommies.
Yeah, right. Ridiculous. And then when you point it out, you're pro-Russian. Shut
Pat
up.
Gray.
Oops, all berries tweets. Biden's tough to keep up with when he spots a child he wants to sniff. Bovine. Biden lifting weights? Come on, man. Even Jen the Liar Psaki couldn't keep a straight face. From Peekapool, of course Joe is lifting weights. Those pudding cups must be 4 or 5 ounces each.
Yep.
Devin Crossley tweets, Biden is the only dead weight dumbbell in that White House, so every time he gets up, he's lifting his weight. And 79 model Chris is hard to keep up with when he's falling down the stairs or up the stairs, as in the case of boarding that plane.
Uh-oh, look out.
Here we go.
Well, I mean, look, if a giant gorilla's throwing barrels at you,
I mean 3 times. Jeez.
and then you saw Donkey Kong was waiting for him there at the top of the stairs. We don't know what happened after that. They had to turn the cameras off. It's kind of scary.
We'll have to circle back on that one.
Yeah.
Some people in Michigan are just a tad fed up with what's going on in Michigan. So they're doing something kind of fun.
Uh-oh.
They're identifying as being fully vaccinated.
Good.
Yeah.
Good, do it.
Fed up with the stringent restrictions for coronavirus. Some residents of a small county in Michigan's Upper Peninsula are reportedly saying they, quote, identify as fully vaccinated, unquote, amid new guidance that allows inoculated people to ditch masks in public. Good for them. You know, which is a bigger stretch? Identifying that you've had a shot in your arm or being a man biologically who identifies as a woman or vice versa? Which one of those is the bigger stretch? The updated guidance issued last week by the CDC, which allows for fully vaccinated individuals to resume activities without wearing a mask or physically distancing, has inevitably led to some confusion over how to enforce mask and social distancing mandates in public. And in a region of the country eager to be finished with it, some are taking advantage of that uncertainty. And I think it's going to be fine. I really do. I think maybe we've turned a corner. Hopefully it's not too soon to say that. Knock on wood. This is probably Formica, but
I mean, it'll work.
It'll work.
Right? I mean, but okay, so the COVID will be fine, is what you're saying.
Yes.
But the reaction with the vaccine cards and the proof and all that stuff,
that
battle is just starting. Oh boy.
Yeah, I personally feel like we're through the worst of this. Maybe that's just because we live here in Texas. I don't know if it feels that way in California, although their numbers are great. Seen the numbers in like Northern California, in San Francisco County? I just saw that the infection rate is 0.5% now. Wow. And then I think in Marin County, was it Marin County? It's like just 1%. So, I mean, they're really doing well. They've gotten the numbers really under control there.
So, again, the key is going to be the government lifting their power
yes.
On the lockdowns.
Yes.
And then when that flex doesn't work, then we'll do it with the vaccines, because the masks now are going away. So just because COVID may be defeated, you still have the government. Gina Carano, greatest tweet of the year so far. She tweeted out last night.
She's the woman, by the way, who was on The Mandalorian and said some conservative things or conservative type things on Twitter.
Dared see parallels between what happened in Nazi Germany and what's happening today. And
yeah, so enough. She got fired.
Here's her tweet last night. Oh, gosh, this is so good. At this point, I would feel safer if the coronavirus gave a press conference to tell us how to save us from the government.
That's great. She hasn't stopped.
No. And that's so true.
That's great.
Because as the coronavirus infection rates dwindle, now we have to deal with these insane encroaches on our liberties.
That's a great tweet. It's awesome. This tweet from Galt Shrug. Had some friends over who were vaccinated a month ago, Pfizer, and the magnet stuck to both. His was stronger, but he got both shots in the same arm as with one in each arm for her.
Okay.
Would not have believed it without seeing it in person. And it is a real thing. That is not conspiracy theories. No matter what these websites are saying, I don't know if we should look up whether or not Snopes has declared that false, because I'll bet they have. Or maybe they just don't address it because it's clearly true.
I'll look this up.
Uh-huh. All right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Do videos, here's the headline, do videos show magnets sticking to people's arms after COVID-19 vaccine?
False.
False.
You gotta be kidding me!
False. Viral video showed magnets stuck on people's arms after they received COVID-19 vaccines, purportedly demonstrating that the vaccines contain metal devices or ingredients. False. Origin. It's just stupid.
In what way is it false?
I'm trying to find out. Let's see. I'm trying to find out here.
They usually do a little synopsis.
Yeah, this is a long synopsis, but let's see. The last paragraph, as the late, great Rush Limbaugh would do on articles. In sum, while the videos did not depict authentic effects of COVID-19 vaccines, the reasons for why the alleged magnets, they put in quotes, seemingly stayed on people's arms were unclear.
You can't say it's false then.
I swear.
You say
Snopes.
it's unclear. We're not sure. You can't just declare that false.
Okay, more now.
Wow.
Nobody on this program has said
Wow.
it's a microchip, but listen to what they're doing here. More plausible than the microchip conspiracy theory were the possibilities that people positioned their arms in a way. By the way, Snopes, in this case, it's 2 words away, not AWAY as one word. You suck in more ways than one. Position their arms in a way to avoid the item's gravitational pull downwards, or used items that stuck to people's skin for reasons other than a magnetic pull. For those reasons, we rate this claim false. You suck. I want everybody that runs Snopes, and it's just a couple, right? Like a husband and wife couple or something.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to pick out 20 random friends, if they even have that many, and you go
Look
to
at
them
that.
with magnets.
That is clearly not in a way that avoids gravity. You'd have to do this.
Yes. No.
No.
They could easily test people in their circle of friends and family and then report back and update this. But they refuse to. Instead, they just dismiss it.
Wow,
Screw Snopes.
That is pathetic, but predictable. I mean, totally predictable.
Don't be fooled. Snopes is a far left.
Absolutely. So is
outlet.
PolitiFact. All of these fact-checking sites.
Oh, USA Today with their own fact-checking now. They're crazy out there, too.
Yep.
They're drifting.
And I used to love USA Today.
Remember that red sports section and the little graphic in the bottom right hand corner with the fun fact
and the lifestyle section that it was always pretty interesting.
That was good times.
Good times.
You don't get those
No,
days.
apparently those don't come back. And here's a little propaganda for you: kids thanking their parents for vaccinating them.
Oh, good.
That's just wonderful.
Okay.
Thanks for telling me everyone 12 and older is eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine.
You're welcome.
Thank you for loving me that much. Thanks.
For loving me so much that you've put my life on the line to get a vaccine that I don't necessarily even need. Thank you so much for taking that chance with risking my life.
But I mean, that's in the United States, where the parents still have the option to tell their kids that they can go get it. But
in Canada, things are a little different. This is great. Parents in Canada protest a child vaccination center. So they've got a child vaccination center set up. And got some parents not happy about it.
And the cops are protecting this building from any interference outside.
Everybody in. I'm inviting you now to join us.
Why is the Miami bike cop team?
I was just wondering the same thing.
Right now.
What's the oath that you took?
I wish there were more parents protesting, but
yeah.
For free ice cream.
Hey, Rise Up. We are at Nathan Phillips Square. We're at the pop-up vaccine clinic.
There's stuff going in those kids'
And
bodies.
the police
They're
have
not
just
even old enough to make an informed
told us
choice.
that we are not allowed
So you
to
adults-
be on the Nathan Phillips Square property.
You
So
adults
we're
should be
out on the
protecting them,
sidewalk
serve and
now.
protect. You're not doing your oath, are you? None
We're
of you.
trying to speak to the
I
police.
told you before.
Thank God for their passion.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's got to do this.
We are pissed off. We are not moving. This is our baby. You are with our baby. We are mothers. We are fathers. The strength of parenthood has taken over us, and we are not moving. Until you start spreading the truth of what is going on over there. That's it. We are pissed. We are at our end. We have been respectful with you. We have been patient with you. We have tried to guide you to the light. But now you are messing with our children, and that is not okay. You want to arrest all of us? Arrest all of us. You want to beat us to the ground? Beat us to the ground. This is our children, and we will not back down. We will not back down. You don't scare me. You don't intimidate me. I have the strength of 4 children in my soul. You don't scare me. You want to be cowards and punks, and you want to stand here while all those babies get this vaccine, and that is on you. I have the strength of children inside my soul, and for that, as a mother, I am not moving. No, that's enough. Not doing this anymore. No. No. You with the wrong generation. My children are in harm. My children, your children, whether or not you have the capacity to understand this, your children, enough.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. What's happening now?
So they biked all the way to Ontario.
Oh, my God.
Wow, they are elite. Oops. Okay. So they're everywhere. The elite bike division of the Miami.
How long do you think it
Police
takes
Department.
to bike from Miami to Canada?
For those guys?
Okay.
Probably an hour and a half, maybe.
Fair point. But, I mean, the world is going to hell in a handbasket. In Canada, Canada has been leading the way the last few months.
Yeah. Canada's actually been going downhill for a while. But think about it. When you're 12 years old, you can't drive, you can't vote, you can't give sexual consent, you can't drink alcohol, you certainly can't buy weed. But in Ontario, a 12-year-old child can fully understand the risk versus benefit of an experimental drug, know the short and long-term side effects, and doesn't need parental permission to go ahead and get that shot. Wow. Yeah, that seems reasonable, doesn't it? That seems perfectly logical.
Yeah. Wow. Get the vaccine or also change their gender or whatever, their sex organs.
Oh.
You could do that too.
Yep.
So cherry picking with your example.
Pardon me. Apologize.
This world, man. What a
Canada.
nightmare.
I mean, all this stuff is going on in Canada lately. This is this Ontario as well? I'm not sure. We're somewhere in Canada here.
So I believe so.
And
yes.
people are walking around with naked faces.
What?
Yeah, they dared walk around without a mask. And here's what happens.
They're standing out in front
Police.
of the
Police show up.
City of Hamilton bylaw.
Hamilton, Ontario.
I have you here in violation of the Reopening of Ontario Act, gathering with a crowd of more than 5 people.
So that's a pre-written ticket again, just for the record?
I had the ticket made up inside when I saw you out here.
So what was I doing exactly when I was talking to one of the protesters here?
You walking around, geting within 3 meters.
Oh, that's how it is. Well, so if I just talk to someone, that's within 2 meters?
I also watch you shaking their hand.
Oh, that's
This
oh,
guy's
I
for
guess I'm breaking the
real.
law there. Okay, you got me there.
So
You got me there.
Ticket, provincial offense notice.
Yeah.
And the Reopening of Ontario
Time
Act.
notice.
For
Okay.
a gathering of more than
Yeah.
5 people.
Thank you.
Your options are on the back. Your options are to either pay it,
Yeah.
an early resolution with the prosecutor, or you can have your day in court if you choose to.
Yeah.
You understand your options?
I understand my options, man.
There's
No,
your
that was
provincial
pretty
offense.
complicated. I don't get
Now,
it.
this is an administrative penalty notice.
Oh, for
City of
what?
Hamilton.
Yeah.
This is for shaking hands with the public.
No way.
Fail to maintain a distance of at least 2 meters from another person.
He shook hands with the whole public?
Bylaw 2164, section 2.1.
You're a loser. You
Once
are a
again,
loser.
Your options are on the back.
Hiding behind a badge.
Or you have the option to be with with an officer. And you can argue.
Alrighty, thank you.
So that's strictly just for shaking hands with someone?
For shaking hands, not maintaining
You proud of that?
Okay, so for the record, can I get your name and badge number?
Officer Gifford, number 370.
370, thanks. Lee, supervisor here, guys, as always.
Wow. So he got ticketed $1,400. Was that $1,400 a piece?
No, grand total of $1,440.
$1,440.
And
because he doesn't have a mask on and he shook hands with someone.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the mask thing, but it was because he was shook hands.
Oh, that's right. He's in a crowd of more than 5 people.
More than 5 people. And the way you determine if you're in a crowd with more than 5 people is if you're within 2 meters.
Well, then there's no way to tell how far.
So,
I mean, that could be 2 inches or it could be 2,000 miles. I don't know what that is.
Ignorance of the mandate is
apparently no excuse. Despite the fact that you can't convert the metric to anything understandable, you're still paying the fine. Huh.
But the cop comes out of the police station and says, I observed you hanging out with more than 5 people.
And I saw you shake hands with someone.
Shook hands. I mean, that guy was in there waiting with those tickets. And as soon as they got done with their morning meeting, because you saw the cops came out and go do their beat, that guy's like, oh, watch this, guys. I'm going to go write 2 tickets, and then I can chill out the rest of the month while you guys are pulling over speeders. Seriously! I mean, that is insanity!
Mm-hmm.
That is insanity.
It is.
Western society. Get a freaking... There's nothing to grab a hold of anyway left, so we're... Whatever. Goodbye. It was fun.
I know.
They're not coming back.
And the aliens, they're not helping.
Right. They're just watching us?
They just watch.
They're mocking us.
Watch. They sit and they watch and they do nothing to intervene. Nothing.
You know what the aliens do? The aliens fly their ships into the water. Like, hey, watch this. We'll screw with this ship. All these guys on the ship, we'll go in the water. Come say something.
This is going to confuse them. Watch this. Now I'm going to go from 0 to 14,000 miles an hour in under half a second.
They are totally messing with us, man. I don't care for that.
None of us do. Jeez. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? It's happening everywhere, and they're propagandizing our kids wherever they go, and there's just no escape from it.
Obedience is prolonging this nightmare.
And schools aren't even open yet. In many places across this country, they still have not allowed the kids to come back to school.
Well, don't forget now, you got some red states, Iowa, Utah, Texas, saying no masks in our schools.
Beginning September, though?
Stop it.
Or
I
now?
don't know. Some might be immediately. I think Texas is June 4th, which is a weird order because
they're not in school
want to be out
Yeah.
by then. Governor Abbott. Oh, by the way, speaking of Texas, you saw that it's waiting for his signature that anybody can carry a gun in the state now without a license.
Yeah, constitutional carry. So you don't need a concealed weapons permit to carry your gun with you anymore.
To exercise
Wow.
the Second Amendment right that is afforded
Which is
to you.
why they call it constitutional carry. Because there's nothing in the Constitution that prohibits you from carrying it wherever you want.
And we've learned, if we've learned anything from the left, it's language matters.
Yeah.
And you got to say it like that. Constitutional carry.
It's a fantastically named law. Speaking of Texas law, in Alabama, they're kind of warning Texans, because Texans are also right now trying to have the ability for, if you homeschool, they want your kids to be able to utilize the sports programs of the high schools, which
tempting.
I desperately wanted when we first moved here, because it just makes sense that when you're paying outrageous property taxes, that you're paying for these programs, you should. There's no reason in the world that you shouldn't be allowed to use them.
I mean, they are building these multi-million-dollar facilities and football stadiums, and they're telling us, the taxpayers that pay just as much into it as someone who has a kid going to those schools, oh, you can't use those. You could see how it'd be very tempting to
Pisses
go,
me off.
hey, yay, we can play now.
There was one state that we've lived in that allowed you to participate in the school sports if you homeschooled, and I believe that was Utah. In Maryland, you could utilize the schools, but you also had to report to the state, which...
That's where they get you.
That's where they get you. And that's what Alabama is warning Texas about. Hey, we went down this road where we got permission to use the school's facilities, but it cost us. As a homeschool parent, this Chelsea Elliott Campbell writes, as a homeschool parent who has lived in a state when the Tebow bill was passed, this is something that you don't want to do just so your children can have access. We lived in Alabama when the bill passed. It gave each individual school district the decision to decide how to implement it, not statewide, and only if they wanted to. Well, that doesn't make any sense. If you're going to pass the bill, make it have some teeth. There's no reason to pass a bill if they can choose not to follow it. For the ones that did choose to allow it, our district did, it started that the homeschool child has to test to be able to participate. Public school parents got upset because how do they know a homeschooler is actually doing school and not sitting home all day? So public school parents pushed for the district to regulate curriculum, just like Maryland. So by the next year, year 2, the district made it mandatory to approve the curriculum every semester. The homeschoolers use them to be able to participate. Then year 3, when we left school, the school district we were in was voting to have it mandatory that students attend at least 4 classes on campus to participate. Because it was only fair to the public school kids to be that be required. What? Why? Why is that unfair to them? What?
I'm telling you, you let them in. You give them an inch, right, Pat?
By year 4, you give them an inch, and you'll never get that back. Right. I believe is how that goes,
That's how
right?
it goes,
From Sarah. Then by year 4, districts were putting pressure on state legislatures to make requirements statewide for all homeschoolers, not just those who wanted to participate in the Tebow bill.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Because the pressure the public school parents were putting on local school boards, it was not fair to have mandate one thing for one set of kids and another for another set.
Oh, here we go.
They felt rules should be mandated statewide by the state education agency and not individual districts. So at this point, they were changing homeschooling rules within the whole state, not just for those who chose to participate.
4 years they took over all of homeschooling.
Golly. So that's what you run up against. And that's why Texas has never wanted to have any part of that bill up until now. But they're kind of pushing it now.
Close.
Yeah, it's very, very
already
close.
passed one chamber.
I don't know what you do.
This is why you just don't even let the door get cracked open to the government when you homeschool.
Yeah, even though you talk about fairness.
Right.
It is not fair.
I'm with you.
And I don't know how anybody can believe it is. To the homeschoolers who pay all of the taxes that everybody else pays into the system, but don't have any of the advantages.
We don't even get reimbursement on the textbooks that we purchase for our kids. So we get to pay for these facilities, not get to use them. And meanwhile, we're also paying for educational costs for our kids separately from this.
It's incredibly wrong. It's outrageous.
It's madness.
All right. Tomorrow, we still have so many things we didn't get to. We got to tell you about this Connecticut situation. It's headlined, "I was the fastest girl in Connecticut, but transgender athletes made it an unfair fight." The thing that we talked about so many times where girls will suffer because of this stuff, it's reality now. We'll share that story and lots more tomorrow on Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.